And good afternoon. We are conducting yet another interview with our ECC basketball coaches. Uh, Today, we talked to Josh Adamec, who's the first year coach, or I should say, first year coach at Plainfield High School,
Yes,
the
correct.
varsity team. How you doing, Josh?
Very good, very good. In the
So,
battle of middle of the season here.
so give me a little bit idea. I know about your coaching career. I mean, you've got a lot of energy. You probably have more energy than most coaches out there on court side. Give us an idea where you came from and how you ended up in Plainfield.
I went to NFA and I started my career there playing, and we were a very competitive team. We most wins. Traveled to the state championship game when I was my senior year. Only team in school history to do that. And I went on to play college basketball at Dean College and then UMass Dartmouth, and played for a lot of good coaches. Knew that pretty much after playing high school that I wanted to get into coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So I started coaching summer league as a college player. During the summers I would coach high school summer leagues.
Like travel ball, that kind of thing.
The high school, actually, Rob Molesky, the Grizzlies coach, was my JV coach, and very 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 close with me, during my high school career. And he ended up leaving and going to Woodstock to become the head coach of Woodstock halfway through my high school career. And he asked me once I graduated if I'd be interested in coaching his Woodstock summer league team, which the summer league was held at NFA.
Okay.
So it was kind of interesting. I was, NFA alum, coaching Woodstock's high school team, playing in their summer league against Wyndham, NFA, Fitch, East Lyme, Griswold, and all these teams that come down to play in this summer league. It was hosted right there, and that's where I really got started. And then I coached a year at UMass Dartmouth with Brian Baptiste, who's in his 45th year, I think, right now. Legend. Division, going to go down to Division III Hall of Fame coaches. He's one of the best. And so I learned a lot from him. And then I coached at Mitchell College with Todd Peretz for 4 years. Before I decided to, go back to a little less traveling and time on the road and get back into high school. And I went to Griswold. I started out as just a volunteer with Rob and just helping him out because he said, hey, I'll take anything you can do, anything you can handle. Come in and help us out. And that was 2010 or something like that. Okay. So that's when I started at Griswold. I was there for 12 years and then became the JV coach. And then I don't know how you want me to talk about, me being at Plainfield.
Well, this is your first year, at Plainfield. What is it like being a high school varsity coach now within the ECC?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy everywhere I've been, is just giving back to the kids and kind of trying to give them the passion and the knowledge that I have for the game. I would say that my work ethic with the kids and how passionate I am kind of like grows on them. And I think that I get a really, really strong bond with the kids that I've had play under me, because they know that they can trust me, and I'm going to work as hard for them as they start working hard for me, And so I'm finding the same thing at Plainfield right now.
So being in Plainfield, you'd be remiss not to mention you have some very large shoes to fill. Unfortunately, we lost the Plainfield head coach, Bobby Armoni.
Yeah.
Was it 555 wins he had?
55 wins, yeah.
He's absolutely a legend.
Yep.
How do you? I mean, how do you adjust to that? Because I'm sure there are people that have you under the microscope after coming in after such a a legendary coach.
Yeah, I think with that, the first thing is I'm coming from Griswold. That's a rival, right? Um, I'm not from Griswold. Obviously, I've been there for 12 years, and um, uh, I think that was the first thing that maybe people were a little unsure of. Like, we got a Griswold coach coming in here, but hey, guess what? Where was Bobby from?
Griswold.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they accepted him, and I believe they're accepting me. They see that I'm giving my all to the program. As far as the 555 wins, I mean, I don't know if there is anybody, in this day and age of the game that is going to be able to amass a record like that again. I do believe that some of those coaches that are staying in one place for 43 years, I just don't know if that's how things are going to be with this. I mean, if you look at the professional and the college sports, like the changing is, it's just different time. And I feel like we were in greatness for a long time, and we were lucky to have Bobby show us the way. And he's gonna be a legend, and go down for a long time. And everybody's gonna say, "Wow, 555 wins."
Yeah. So let's move on. Let's talk about your team, because it is your team now.
Yeah.
Tell us about how you were a little bit past midway.
Yeah.
Of your first, your full season as head coach, and how would you assess it so far?
So far, I mean, we're 7-5 through 12 games. Winning record is always good. We've had some bumps in the road, a couple tough games. I've had some sickness and some injuries that where I missing some starters through a couple of those losses, and including myself. I ended up catching the same sickness some of the guys were dealing with, and I was so sick against at the Woodstock game that I wasn't able even to make it. I wasn't able to even speak. My tonsils were so swollen that I couldn't even speak, and I could not make it to that game. And unfortunately, that was a tough loss for us. And so had some ups and downs, trying to figure out how to just learn how to win. This group, 6 seniors. I mean, these kids just want to win, and they want to get better every day. They're great leaders. They've had a couple of tough years in the past couple of years as far as their records and stuff. So these kids want more than anything to just represent themselves, their family, and their school. And I think that right now, the way they play, they leave everything on the court. We might not always be able to make the right play or put the ball in the hoop when you have to, but boy, do they leave it all on the court.
So let's talk about one of your seniors, Captain Braden McCool. How do you and he work together?
Oh, he's like a coach on the court. Right now, it's good because he's certainly starting to understand what I expect out of him, and making sure that he's being the floor general. With any point guard and a great leader, a lot of times it ends up being the point guard. They're almost supposed to be your extension of a coach on a court. So they almost start to understand not by what you're saying, but what you're thinking, and they understand it so that they can direct traffic on the court. Coming along at doing understanding and trying to get guys in the right place. And the kid can put the ball in the hoop a little bit, so that helps.
So you said you had 6 seniors, so McCool obviously is the leader on the court.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about sophomore by the name of Braden Marquee. I mean, I've watched him a little bit through his junior high days, and big kid can throw it down past 3, maybe NBA length.
Yeah.
How's he doing as a sophomore for Plainfield High School so far?
Yeah, I think that it's been like a welcoming a coming out party, as you say. You know, he steps on the court, and I told him from the beginning when we started practicing, you know, I'm going to hold him to a high standard, and I'm going to push him because he has the ability to do a lot of things. One of those multi-talented kids. He can play inside. He can play outside. He puts the ball on the ground well. He creates for other people, blocks, you know, rebounds. He just has a really great feel for basketball. You know, be in the right spot, and he's not scared of the big moment. A lot of times you get a sophomore that may have the skill and the awareness to be on the court, the varsity speed, and you know the strength that it takes to be on the varsity court as a sophomore. But he's not scared of the moment.
Yeah.
And those things right there are intangibles that you can't teach.
You can't teach that. I was just going to say, you can't teach that.
He just has it. Yeah.
Yeah. So as of this taping right now, your next game is at Turtelot away.
Tomorrow night away.
We saw him play Griswold. They played him very, very tough. One thing I saw with you guys against Plainfield against Griswold this year, you guys are a bunch of track stars. It was a track meet. I remember my camera guy looking at me going, "This is a track meet." They're just going up and down the court. And I think you guys gassed the Wolverines, to be honest with you. Are you going to do this? Have you been doing the same thing all year, or has it changed from game to game? And what do you think about Turtelot? How are they going to react to that?
Well, I tell you what, it's certainly. I wish we could always have the same game plan for every team, but certainly there's some games where we say, hey, we might not have that. Our personnel might not fit with them well, and also with them when I'm been down players, we haven't been able to do the same thing. And the first time we played against Turtelot happened to be in the Ellis Tech Christmas Tech the Halls for the holiday tournament, and it was a afternoon start, like a 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock start on an empty gym on a cold December day after Christmas. And I had starting center Kean Mayernick was out sick with the flu. And I didn't see him for a week. And then also Braden Marquee was also out sick. So I'm down 2 starters, and Turtelot's tough. They can shoot the ball. They can handle it. They handle pressure. They can do a lot of things, and they cause some matchup problems for us. And you know, we played them tough for 3 quarters, and then they started pulling away, and we just didn't have the manpower to stay with them. So I'm interested in seeing how we do at their place with a full squad. You know, I mean, these kids are playing a lot harder, and they're playing more as a unit. So I'm excited about that.
They're they're not very deep, but they don't have to be with the way they play.
Their starting 5 are legit. They can play. They can play. They can put the ball on the
guy off the bench that's legit too that we saw.
They
have, I
can
think,
play.
8 kids on the team.
Yes, yeah, they have a small roster, and I talked to the coach about that. I think they had 19 total kids come out for their entire program. So they're certainly struggling with numbers, but I said, hey, there's nothing wrong with the 5 you got on the court. So
that's for sure. All right. You know, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Good luck tonight or tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
The rest of this tomorrow and the rest of the season. I know you got Killingley coming up next week.
Might see you there.
Some other games. Stonington's not easy.
Stonington won't be an easy game. And hey, every game on our schedule, you know, we take it one game at a time, and it will be a battle. I mean, you know, we're trying to breed a new culture here in Plainfield, and hopefully when we start showing up in the gym, there's whispers talking about how hard that team plays and how tough they are, and man, they don't give up. Like those are things we want people to start thinking about when Plainfield, you know, rolls into the building. So,
well, you know, I mean, as far as my tacky statement of the day, stay cool, calm, and collected. All right, Josh, thank you very much. Head coach of Plainfield High School basketball team, and we'll see you down the road.
All right, sounds good.